Hi, all of you. Audible to you? So yesterday we discussed about the installation command, okay, which type of the command is going to help you to install the service. Okay, like we discussed about the yum command. Then I given you the difference between the systemctl start HTTPD, systemctl status HTTPD, systemctl enable HTTPD. Okay, and I even shown you the use case, like if we talk about the enable HTTPD. So if you don't hit this command and we'll shut down the system, so our service will be also stopped. So again, when we are switching on our laptop back, we have to manually start the service. But if you hit the command systemctl enable HTTPD, so if we shut down our laptop and again start it, service will be automatically started. So this was the things which we discussed yesterday. And we discussed about at last a echo command. Okay, so let me increase the font size for this. When the root user using the command sudo switch user root. And if you remember the last command which we ran yesterday, that was about echo. I said you that if you write the echo and anything in the double quote, it will print as it is. Like echo hello world, so they are printing as it is. Echo in the double quote, I am writing date, so they will be printing date on. But if we want to print the output of the date command, okay, then we have to write echo, keep it in under the back quote, okay, and then write the date for. Then you will press enter, you will see rather than printing the date, they are printing the output of the date. So if anything will keep in between as a back quote, then they will treat this as not a string, as a command they will create. And that's why they are running the command. So this was the things we discussed. Okay, and even one more interesting thing, like take an example, this is the output, right? We know that echo date command output with this one. Okay, but I don't want to show this output in this screen. I want to show this, store this output inside some file. Take an example, I want to store this output in a file for, okay, so I will just press enter. Now you'll see if I read the cat file for, the output is visible inside the file code, but they are not printing the output at this point. Because I said whatever the output will be there of this echo date command, you have to move it, okay, the file file. And that's why they moved it inside the file file. So this is the way by which you can write any command output inside a file. Or even if you don't want to use echo, even if you write the command date, take an example, double arrow, I'm giving it, and file for that will also do the same one. Okay. Like if I do cat file for, you will see one more extra line will be added with the date command. This is also going to, both the way will help you to write the right inside the file. Now we are going to see today some other commands. Okay. So the first thing we are going to see is how to add the new users. Okay. So currently, if you see, let me clear all this thing. Uh, if we are in which location, we are present in the /home/ec2 user. Okay. And if we go one back, that means we are going to the parent directory. So at which location we are present? We are present in the /home directory. Okay. And if you remember, during our file structure class, I said you that any user other than the root user, okay, other than the root user, if any user would be present in your Linux machine, their folder will be created by default in /home directory. Okay, so like if we are creating the user with the name John, so his folder will be /home/. Like for this EC2 user, his folder location is /home/EC2 user, right? Similarly, if we are going to create a new user with the name Jack, so user will be created like /home/Jack. Okay, so is this part anybody remember like that from our Linux file structure? We already discussed, right? I don't have to explain it again, right? Anybody? Anybody have confusion? So there are two types of the user we discussed, right? One is the root user, basically having the admin power. Okay, and then the others user, okay, basically the guest user we say. Okay. When we are giving the guest user, okay, so root user by default, which directory they will be using? They'll be using slash directory, okay, slash root. Others user will be using by default slash home and whatever their username. Like if their username is easy to user, they will be easy to user. If their username is John/home/John. Okay, so currently only one directory is present. That means only one user is present. By default, whenever you launch a EC2 instance on the AWS cloud, by default, they create a EC2 user. Okay. Now we have to see how we can create a new user. Okay. So if you want to create a new user, you have to follow this document from the one. Okay. Anybody here who still don't have this document? That also you can keep it in chat. Anybody here who don't have this document, which I am referring to?
I don't think I've got that document either.
Okay, you did not get. Anybody others also don't get? Okay, you all not got. Okay. Okay, so I'll talk to the team. Okay, so no issue for that. I will talk. Yeah. So in this document only, in the eighth command, user add Kisan is there. Add means this command is going to add the user. User add command meaning you are going to add the user. Okay. And whatever the user name you want to keep, like I want to keep the EC2 user, I want to keep the John, Jack. So every name will be visible here. Okay. So let's do that. If I had the command user add, okay, and see this type of the command user add, everything you can do as a root user. Okay, because root is going to have the permission to add any new user. Okay, others cannot do. So you have to become the root user. User add. I'll just take an example. I'm going to create a user with the name Kisan. So I'll press enter and I will do ls. You'll see one more directory is created. This Kisan directory. Now, what is the benefit? Now, if this Kisan, okay, like the user Kisan wants to see the content of the EC2 user, will he able to see? No. Is the EC2 user will have the power to see the content of the Kisan user? No. Okay. So these things you have to keep in mind. Both are the separate now. Okay. So the person who will be logging as a Kisan user, he will be have the access of only this directory. Okay. The person who will be logging as a EC2 user will have the access of only this directory. But the root user, like currently we are the root user, right? So we can go inside any directory. Like if I want to try to go inside the Kisan directory, I can go in. And so see, I am inside the Kisan directory. Similarly, I will go back and I will try to go with the EC2 user. I can go in. You see, I am inside the EC2 user. So as a root user, I can go anyone's directory. Okay, but let's try. I'm going to change. Okay, clear all this. Ls. Currently, there are two directories. Currently, I'm the root user. I am going to become the Kisan user. I will just hit the command sudo switch user Kisan. Now I became the Kisan user. Okay. Once I become the Kisan user, then if I try to go inside the EC2 user, cd EC2 user, let's try permission delay. That means as a Kisan user, you don't have the permission to go to the EC2 user. Let's try to go to the my own directory. That is Kisan. Yes, I am able to go. Okay, so I was able to go inside my own directory, but I am not able to go inside the EC2 directory. Why so? Because Linux security is all about this only. Linux say that if there are multiple users working, okay, so I will create a wall. Somebody want to say something? Your mic is open. Okay, so Linux say I will create a wall. So what this wall will do? So other user will be not able to see your content. This user will be not able to see the content, whatever the Kisan is doing. but there will be one admin, that is the root user. He can do anything because he is the owner of the laptop or owner of the machine, so he can do anything. That things we have to keep in mind. Now, similarly, let's try one more thing. I am doing exit. So if I'll do exit, what will happen? I will become the root user. Okay, so again, I am saying two directory. Let's become the EC2 user now. So I will just change to, just do the exit. I will become the EC2 user automatically. Now, once we become the EC2 user, now let's try to go inside the kitchen directory. So cd dot. Okay, so currently I am seeing two directory EC2 user and kitchen. If I will go inside the kitchen directory, permission denied. So even EC2 user is not able to go to the kitchen directory. And similarly, I shown you kitchen will be also not able to go to the EC2 user directory. Okay, so this is the case about the users. Now let's clear all these things and let's go inside our original directory, that is the EC2 user where we are working. Now, once you created the user and you got to know, okay, user kitchen is created. And as soon as that directory is created, that means user is also created. But again, how you can verify that user is created? So there is a file in the Linux. Okay, that file is located in this location, cat/etc/password. So /etc/password, this is the file, okay, where Linux store the details of all the user created in our Linux. Okay, and cat is a command to read the file. So if I press enter, you will see so many content. But you have to focus on last three lines. One is the EC2 user that is by default created, okay, by the AWS, and their directory is /home/EC2 user. Similarly, this is the kitchen user which I created now, okay, and his directory is /home/kitchen. And what is this Apache? So if you remember yesterday, we installed a software called HTTPD. Okay. So by default, for every software, Linux create a separate username. Okay, and that's why this Apache was also created when we downloaded the software called HTTPD. And that's why its location is /usr/where/HTTP. So you don't have to worry about this Apache. Just focus on this EC2 user and kitchen. These two are the user, and we are able to see. Okay. So that is the file cat/etc/password. Okay, so this is the file name /etc/password. So just remember this file name. This file name will give you the list of the users. Once you got this, then you will see this command line again. Now we have the concept of group also. Okay, so what is the use of group? So sometimes what happens, like there are multiple users going to work. Okay, or take an example, we are going to hire 5 employees. Okay, like employee 1, employee 2, employee 4. Okay, so total 5 employees we are going to hire in a company. And now in this 5 employee, I know that this 3 employee belongs to the DevOps team. Okay, employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, they are going to belongs to the DevOps team. So let me write it like this. They are going to belong to the DevOps team. And employee 4 and employee 5 going to belong to the test team. Why we are differentiating it? Because the DevOps team should have the access of one of the folder, take an example /DevOps folder. Okay. And similarly, the testing team should have the access of one of the folder with the name /test. Okay. So now we have to give the access to this folder and this folder. Okay. So who will have access of this /DevOps folder? These 3 employees will have. Okay. And this /test folder, who should have the access? These 2 employees would have. Once you got the idea that which type of the access I have to give to which employee. So one of the way is either I will give the separate the permission, like employee 1 also I will give the DevOps permission. Then I will come again and I will give the employee 2 the DevOps file permission. Then I will do it for the employee 3 also. Okay. But just take an example. We are working in a big company where hundreds of employees are in the DevOps team. Okay. So it will be really difficult to write the commands 100 times, okay, for each of the employee to give them in the DevOps group access. Okay, so in place of that, what we can do is we know that all these 3 employee belongs to the DevOps team. Okay, so we'll add all these employee to a DevOps group. Okay, once we add this employee in the DevOps group, So I will give this permission /DevOps file permission only to this DevOps group. Okay, so I will say that the person who are available, just give me a second. Yeah, the person who are available in the DevOps group, please give him access to this directory. Okay, so I don't have to manually give to this employee. And even in the future, if one or two more employee is joining our team, like employee 6 and employee 7, so I don't have to manually give them permission again. I will just add this to employee in the DevOps team, and automatically I already given the permission of this DevOps directory to the DevOps team. Okay, DevOps group basically. So whoever the person belongs to this DevOps group, they will get this access automatically. Okay, like in a company, we always see that you are hired in some of the team. So whatever the other team members have the access of some files, some folders, that you will also get the access. Okay, so they give you access in the group wise. So how you can create the group? So again, it's the command is similar to like that only, like you kept user add. Okay, so like that only you have to keep the group add. Add means you are going to add a group. So let's create a group. Add. I am going to create a group with the name DevOps. So see, currently I'm not able to do this. Why? Because I am logged in as a EC2 user. And as a EC2 user, you don't have the permission to add the group, add the user. So first thing we have to become the root user. So go switch user go. Once you become the root user, then only you can run this type of the command group add, user add, right? Because admins would only have the power to add any new employee, to hire some new employee. Other employee cannot hire the other employee. Okay. So this is the thing you have to keep in. So again, just hit the command group add. This time we'll see that group is created. Again, how you can verify? So like for users, we have a files called cat/etc/password, okay, in which we saw the user name list. Similarly, for the group, we have the file name /etc/group. Just press enter. You'll see there is a Kissan is also there and the DevOps is also there. So DevOps group I created, okay, but Kissan as a group we never created. We created Kissan as a user, if you recall. So here we added the command user add Kissan. Okay, but why this Kissan is visible here also in the group section? Okay, it should only visible in the user section only. Okay, but if you'll see this DevOps we created, okay, this DevOps we created in the group, so it is visible in the group. But if we'll try to see, is the DevOps also created in the user section? So just give the password and you will see that DevOps is not created. Okay, so why that this user Kishan is created as a group also? So to understand this, you have to understand, like whenever you are hired in a company, so there will be some designation offered to you. Maybe you are the trainee, maybe you are the intern, right? Once you get the this designation, then only after some days your uh, hiring manager basically transfer you to some specific team like DevOps team or testing team, developer team, right? But in the starting, you get some another designation. So same thing here. Whenever you are creating a user with the name Kisan. Okay, so by default, this Kisan is not added in any of the group. Okay, so that's why by default, Linux always create a group with the exact same name. Okay, so whenever you are hitting the command user add Kisan, okay, and if this Kisan is not present in any of the group, so by default, Linux will create one group also with the exact same name. And that's what they done here. Okay, so that this explanation also I given it here also in the document. So once you'll get the document, you can read it. Like Kisan we created as user, but it is also visible in group because user Kisan was not added in any of the group. Okay, so by default, Linux create a group with the same name as of user. So that thing you have to understand. If you don't keep any user in any group, then Linux by default going to keep it in one of the group. So that things you have to understand. Now we saw that how to create the group and we created the DevOps group. Now we are going to create quickly two more user. One user will be the name John and one user name is Jack. Again, how you can verify that these two are created? The first thing is go to the parent directory. You will see that two more directory is created, Jack and John. Okay, so that means this is created. Other way is to read the file cat/etc/password. Okay, and here John and Jack is also. By default, there will be the group also will be created with the name John and Jack. So that also you can verify cat/etc/group. And you'll see that John and Jack is also created as a group also. Okay. Now once you add it, now we know that John and Jack is also hired in the company. Kisan is also hired in the company. So we have the three employee now. Okay. Now in this three employee, let me write it here. Like currently there are three employee we hired. One is the Kisan, second is the John, the Jack. And currently Kisan belongs to the Kisan group only, John belongs to John group only, and Jack belongs to Jack group only. In their default. Now I want this Kisan in the DevOps. So how we can do it? So for this, we have a simple command. That command is gpassword -a. -a is for add user. We are adding a new user. Okay. We are adding the user Kisan to the DevOps. So like this, you have to write gpassword. Okay. -a is for adding the username and the group name in which you want. Let's do this. Currently, you are seeing in this DevOps group, there is no person added. Okay, if the person will be added, my sound is coming. Okay. Yeah, so I'm saying if any new user will be added in the DevOps group, like if Kisan is added in the DevOps group, you'll be able to see here the Kisan will be visible. Okay, in parallel to like that, in adjacent to this DevOps. So just I have to hit the command gpassword -a. I am going to add the user. I'm adding the user with the name Kisan, the DevOps group. And that's all. I will press enter. And they are saying I added the user Kisan to group DevOps. You can verify using again reading this file cat/etc/group. And you will see in the DevOps group, now Kisan is added. Okay, Kisan is visible. Similarly, if you want to add two more person, like I want to add two person, John and Jack. Okay. So if you are going to add two person to the DevOps group in a single command, okay. So one of the way is like this. You can keep the John also this way. Like you can just write the gpassword -a John. Okay, and then the DevOps group. And similarly for the Jack also, you can hit the command gpassword -a Jack DevOps. But if you don't want to write these two commands again and again, and your final goal is this Kisan should not be present there. Only this John and Jack should present in the DevOps group. Maybe Kisan left the company or anything can happen. Okay. So in this case, you have to just hit the command gpassword. I want to add the multiple user. So give the capital M here. Okay. And I want to add John and Jack in the DevOps group. So just give it comma separated. If you want multiple user, so you can give like this and also. So it totally depends on how many user you can give. But M meaning is multiple user. If you hit this command, you're going to see that this John and Jack will be added in the DevOps group and Kisan will be automatically removed. So let me show you gpassword -capital M John, comma, Jack, the DevOps group. And you can only add the users which are the already created. See, John and Jack already I created. That's why I'm adding it. DevOps. Now, if you'll see again the command, so see, Kisan is replaced. Now in the DevOps group, only John and Jack is visible. Okay. But now, once I added the John and Jack, and if we want to add Kisan also, now again Kisan rehired. Okay. So if you want to again add him, so just hit the command again, gpassword -a. I am to add one extra user Kisan in the DevOps group. Just press enter. You will see that now there will be 3%, John, Jack, Kisan. Okay. So M option is giving you the multiple option to add. Okay, so whatever the name will be in the list, like if the two name will be in the list, then only 2% will be visible here. If three will be in the list, then only three will be visible. But any extra user you want to add, Okay, so just keep as it is, and I want to add extra one employee or two employees, so you can use the command -a. Okay, so this is the thing about how to add the user in the group, how to give as a permission to the group, that we'll be going to see tomorrow when we'll be talking about more details how the permission is going to work. Okay, how you can specify that EC2 user can access your files. Okay, you can access the EC2 user file. So these all things we'll be going to see tomorrow. Now, quickly, we are going to create one more thing.
Sir, can you increase the font size?
Of this command line. This command you are saying, whatever I'm writing. Is it good?
Sir, 18.
Is it good?
Okay, something better.
Okay. Okay. So I begin
It is better.
again. Okay. Yeah, you can mute yourself now. So we are inside this. Let me delete all this file. Can you mute yourself?
Sir, not share that file, sir. Wow, which you are explaining that notepad. That navigation file is not shared in the group.
Okay, these command files are not shared, that you're saying.
Yes, the files are not shared the group.
Okay, okay. I will make sure that it will be shared. No issue for that. You'll get it. Okay. You'll get it, no issue. So
Okay.
we are going to create a file with the name file. First thing. Inside this, I am writing some content. Okay. So take an example, I'm writing some content. Okay, and again Control+T to save it. So you'll see that file one is created. If I'll read the content is also this one. Now, if I do ls-l here, what you'll see that this is the file one. Okay. It is starting with the dash, that means it is a file. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens, that file is created, but we want to create a shortcut of that file. Okay. So if you are using the Windows, so we always get a option of the shortcut. So take an example. Currently, let's go inside any of the file. Okay. You are seeing this many files are there. Okay. So if I were, this file is located in some of the location like D drive, DevOps training inside that folder. Okay. Now, if we want to create this file, okay, as a shortcut, I can just click on this option. I can click on properties, not properties. We have to go for extra options. Yeah, so more options. So there is an option called create shortcut. So once we are clicking on create shortcut, what is going to happen? There will be a shortcut file will be created, and that shortcut file we can keep it out in our desktop also. So from our desktop, I will be able to open this file. Okay, I don't have to manually come inside this directory. That is the benefit of the shortcut. But once this main file will be deleted, shortcut will be of no use, because shortcut is just basically transferring your data to this one. Okay, so they are reading the data from this file only, actual file. But if this actual file will be deleted, shortcut will be of no use. So similarly, in the Linux, we have the concept of soft link. Okay, soft link is just equal to the shortcut. So if you want to create a soft link of any file, you have to just hit the command. To get all this, there is a file one. If you want to create soft link, so you have to just hit ln. Ln is for link. I want to create a soft link. That's why -s. Okay, and just keep the name as file one. Okay, so after ln is for link, -s is for the soft link. Okay, ln link -s for soft link. Then you have to give the file name, which file you want to create a shortcut. So that file name you have to keep, and what is the name you want to keep it for the shortcut. Okay, or soft link. So that name you have to keep it. So for not having any confusion, I'm just writing it name as file one, and even the soft link file name also I'm keeping it as a soft link file one only. So you'll be not able to do soft link file. That means by this file name, you can understand, okay, this is the shortcut file of the file. Just press enter. Now, if I'll do ls, you'll see one file is created. Okay, and one file is this one. Now, if you try to read the content of file one, well and good, content is visual. If I try to read the content of soft link file one, yes, content is visual. That means they are showing us the exact same content, what is present in the file one. If I do ls-l, so what will happen? So if you try to see in case of the file one, they are showing that this is a file and that's why it is started with dash. But in case of the soft link, they are saying I am starting with L. L is for link. That means it is a link, not a file. Okay. And that's why they are saying I am a link. And that's why whenever somebody will open me, I will transfer your traffic to the file one. Okay. So basically they are reading the data from the file one. Okay. But what is the benefit of the soft link? So let me show you. If I want to update anything, okay. So how you can update anything in the soft link file one? Just you have to hit like this cat double arrow soft link file one, and I want to add extra line. Line edit. I will do Control D. So if I try to read the soft link file again, okay, you'll see that one more line is added. But again, if you read the file one also, okay, cat file one, you'll see that extra line is added in the file one also. That means both files are synced in the real time. If you add something inside this file, soft link file one, or if you update the content of the file one, it will be going to visual in both the file because both the file are synced to each other. It is something like you can say you are on a phone call. So whatever other person is speaking, whatever you are speaking, both are going to hear each other, right? So that the same thing is happening. Both are linked to each other. So whether you are editing the file one or whether you are editing the file soft link file one, okay, content will be visible in the both in the real time. Okay, so that is the thing about the soft link. Now, what will happen if this original file is going to delete it? So we know that soft link is dependent on the file one. Okay, so if somehow this file one is deleted, like I'm doing remove file, okay, and I am press Y and file one is deleted. Now see this became a red color. Why it becomes the red color? If you do ls-l, they are saying our soft link is dependent on a file with the name file one, but file one is missing. That's why they underlined it in the red color. Okay. Now, if I try to read the content of the soft link file, they are printing nothing. And as I said you, that shortcut is only going to work when the main file is present. If the main file is deleted, then shortcut is not going to work. And that's why it is not working. They are saying this file does not exist. But again, somebody create the same file with the name file one. Okay. Add file one, add some content. Again, save it. Now you know that file one is again kept. So now this soft link file one is again transferring the data to the file one, and you will see now it becomes the color change. It is saying that I am able to transfer the data to the file. Now again, somebody will read the soft link file one. They will be able to see the content of the file one. Only things you have to understand here is both are syncing to each other. Either you are edit the soft link file or either you edit the file one. It is going to sync to each other. Second thing, if this file one is deleted, that is the main file, then this soft link is of no use. Okay, you cannot access the data. So that is the thing about the soft link. Now, once the soft link is clear, we'll be going to see the hard link. Again, all the different commands we use to create the soft link that is there. So you can practice once the file is available to you. Mostly, I will make sure that by today you will be get all the file access. Now, other than soft link, there is a concept of the hard link. Okay, so what is the hard link? Hard link is just like a backup. Like you have a two external hard drive in your home. Okay, both having the 1 TB of storage, 1 terabyte, and you have some collection of 100 movies. Okay, so one of the ways that you store all the 100 movies in your personal laptop, Okay, so that is the one of the way. Second way is you stored it in your laptop also, and you store that 100 movies in the hard drive one else. Okay, like external hard disk, whatever you have. So in that case, even if your laptop is going to crash or your laptop is not working, so you still have the data because you already copied the data in the external hard disk. So you can always plug your external hard disk to your laptop and you can copy the data again. Let's take an example again that external hard disk is also going to crash or something. Then again you lose the data, right? So now you have one more external hard disk. So when that first hard disk was working, that time only you copied the same hard disk data in the one more hard disk. So now you have the backup of that file. So hardening is the exact backup. That means even if the main file will be deleted, still you will have the data in your backup. So that is the going to things we are going to see. So hard link. So to create the hard link, just you have to use the command ls. Okay. Like let's first create a file with the name file2. And I'm going to write. Okay, so I'm writing something inside the file2. Let's get this that file2 data is there. File2 ls-l. So this is a normal file with the file2 I created because that is the dash. Now I'm going to create a link. Okay. This time we are going to create the hard link. So for the hard link, yes, you don't have to specify -h or something. You have to just write ln. That's all. I want to create the link of the file2 with the name like hard link file2. Okay, so we created a backup of this file. Now I will press enter and I will do ls. So see hard link file2 is created, but it is in the same color as of the file. There is no difference in color. Even if I show you ls-l, you'll see both the file2 and hard link file2. Both are starting with the dash symbol only. Hard link is a link, right? But that link is not starting with the L. It is starting with the dash only. So it will be treated as a file only. So now if I will try to read the content of the hard link file, so you'll see this is the same content that we stored in the file. Okay, if I again do the same operation like I'm editing the file hard link file2, okay, and one more line added. Something I written inside this. And if I try to read the file too, you'll see that same content is updated in that file also. Okay, that means both are syncing to each other as the soft link was doing. Okay, so in that functionality, it is exactly equal to the soft link. As we are either updating the soft link or either we are updating the file one, file is getting updated in both the files. So similarly, either you update in the hard link file two or either you update in the file two. Both are going to sync to each other. Once we know that it is going to sync to each other, okay, and now after sometimes we got to know that somehow my file two got deleted. Remove file. My main file is deleted. My file two is deleted, but there is no effect on the hard link file two. This is a backup. So still I can save the data. See, the data is still visible. So that is the benefit. The case of the shortcut. Okay. If you are creating and if your file one is going to be deleted, you will be not able to access this software. But in case of the hard link, even if your main file will be deleted, you still have the access to the backup. So you can always again create a file by copying the content, and again you can get back your data. You will be not losing the data. So that is the concept of the hard link. So any question in this? Anybody have any confusion in the hard link and soft link?
No, sir.
Okay. Now 2 to 3 commands more we are going to see for today. So how many of you heard about the zip file? Have you heard about the zip file? Zip file or rar file? This type of the file anybody heard about? Yes, I'm going to put it in chat. Okay, you heard about. So what do you understand by this type of the files? Like the zip file, what is the content of the zip file? Compressed file. Okay, that's great. So you are saying that this is a compressed file. One more thing, it is compressed file, but it contains many files and folder inside this. Okay, so there will be a single zip file, but inside that single zip file, there will be many folders. Okay, many files will be present. Okay, so let me show you quickly in my Windows. Take an example. This is the target. So say this is a zip archive file. Okay, so if I click on this, you'll see that inside this target, there are so many folders. Like there is a folder with the name target, then these many folders are there, these many files are there. So everything is coming from that file only. Okay. So if you want to send this target folder to anybody, okay, to one of my friends, so how I can send this, copy all this file, and how I be able to send it through email? I'll be never able to send it, right? Because email only give you the permission to send it the files or the folders. Okay. So in that case, what you have to do, you have to zip these files. Basically, you will be merge all these files together, and then you'll create a file, something look like this. Okay, this target. It will be a zip archive. And see, the size is 480 KB only. If you try to see the size of this target folder, uh, the size is around 584 KB. Okay, so current size is 584 KB, but the compressed file is 480 KB around. Okay, but in case of the Linux, I will show you that the compression will be happening so good. Like original file size is 584 KB. In case of the Linux, this file will be compressed to only 48 KB, not even 480 KB. Okay, so in Linux side compression is so good. So we are going to show you. So the concept you got to know that we have to have multiple folders, multiple directory. Okay, multiple files are there. We have to merge together in a single file, and we have to send it to some of my friends. That is our final. How we can do this? Let's clear all this. The first thing we are going to is we are going to create a directory. Okay, and we are going to create directory inside directory. That's why we are using the -p, and we are going to create a directory with the directory X. Inside that, I'm going to create a directory with the directory Y, and inside that directory Z. So 3 directories created. If I hit the command tree, you'll see that is it. Okay. Now quickly, I'm going to copy. Okay, file one inside the directory X. Okay, and similarly, I copy hard link file to also the directory X slash directory. Okay, something like this. I copied this structure. Let's clear all this and let's hit the tree command again so you'll understand what I did. So I created these 3 directory X, directory Y, directory Z. Okay, directory Y is present inside this directory X, directory Z is present inside this directory Y. Then we copied file one inside the directory X, and similarly, I copied the hard link file two inside the directory Y. Okay. Now I have to share these all files together. I want to share all these files together to one of my. Yeah, you have to say something. Your mic is open.
Sorry, sir.
So these all files I want to share to somebody. Okay. So how we can go into share? So let's clear all these things again. You know that all the files, whatever we saw, I showed you, everything is present inside this directory X. Okay. This directory X contains a directory Y folder and contains a file one. And inside directory Y, they have the hard link file two, they have the directory Z. Okay. We are going, first thing we have to do is we have to archive this folder. Okay. So to archive this folder, there is a command called tar. In Windows case, you have to download some software. Like there is a software called WinRAR. Okay. There is a software called WinZip also. Let me check. I don't have. But WinRAR, you know, like most of you will be compatible with this. There is a WinRAR software which is helping you to zip all the files. And you are seeing the symbol also. Like they are belting the books. That means they are compressing everything and merging all files. Similarly, in Linux, we don't have to download any external software. Linux have already their own command. that is known as the tar. Okay. Tar is going to help you to archive the file. Just you have to hit the command tar. Can you create a tar file? Okay, with the name. Okay, I want to create the tar file. Okay, for the directory X, and the name whatever I want to give is directory x.tar. Okay, you should give it in the .tar extension. So I'm creating a tar file from this directory. In this C, you have to give the option called V also. V is for verbose. So as I showed you that whenever I am doing the RM command, so when I give the option -V, so if our command is deleting some file, they are showing us. So similarly, if you write V here, so they will be going to show you that which are the files they are merging together. So you will be able to see the list. And we have to add F also. Okay, like we are using the command always rm-rbf, if you remember. This command I already explained you many times. F was helping you to don't press Y every time. Because if you don't press F, so you know every time they will be asking why. Do you want to delete this file? Again, you have to press Y. Do you want to delete this file? They will always press to Y. So similarly, they will always going to ask in this case also, do you want to compress this file? You have to always press Y. So if you don't want to do this, just hit this command tar -cvf. I want to tar this directory X with the name directory x.tar. Just press enter. Just give me a second. Okay, we kept it in the opposite order. So first, you have to give the tar file name directory x.tar. Then you have to give the directory name, which directory you are going to tar it. Okay, so only reverse way done. So just the exact same thing. Now just press enter. And see, they are saying that I went inside the directory X, then I went inside the directory Y, then I went inside the directory Z. And then I merged all these files. Then I merged the hard link file to also. Then I merged file one also. Now if I do ls, you'll see that they created a new file with the name directory x.tar. How we are able to say that this is a file only, this is not a directory? Just hit the command ls-l. And you see in case of the directory x.tar, it is visible as dash. Dash meaning is file. So this is a file. Okay. So once you created the file, so what is the size of this file? 10,240 bytes. So just remember this size. This is so big, right? 10,240 bytes. Now, once we'll do the compression of this file, you'll be able to see the size will be decreased. So let me show you. Once the tar is done, then you have to just hit the command ggp. Okay, ggp is basically command which will help you to compress the size of the tar file. Because sometimes what happens that whenever we are sending some files over email or something, so they say we have the limit of 15 MB or only 5 MB of size you can send it. Okay, or only the 10 MB file size you can send it. So for that case, compression is important. So just you have to hit the command gzip. I want to compress the file with the name directory x.tar and press enter. And that's all. Now if I do ls-l, so see file name is changed. Now it become directory x.tar.cz. But previous the size was 10,240. Now the size become 277. That means they compress so much, right? More than 1,000% compression happened. Okay, like 10,240 was there. Now only 277 is there. That means they reduce the 10,000 byte state, 10,000 byte size. Okay, so only 240 bytes they making it like 277 bytes. So compression is happened, and once the compression is happened, now you can send this file to any of your friends. Okay, and you can use the different email method. Okay, or if you are using the AWS, you get to the knowledge of the AWS. You can upload this file in the S3 bucket. S3 bucket is similar to the Google Drive. Okay? Once you can upload this file, you can share this file to your friend. So your friend will get this file. Okay, he will get this file in his computer. So let me quickly delete this directory X from here. Remove -rbf directory X. Everything is deleted. Let's clear all these things. ls. So your friend will only have this file. He don't have the directory X or anything already. Okay. So your friend got this file. So how from this file you will be able to see the content? So first thing he have to do is he have to unzip the file. So he will hit this command g unzip. and the file name directory x.tar.cz. So this command is going to help them is it will unzip the file. So now if you'll do ls-l, you'll see that the size again becomes the 10,240 and file is unzipped also. Now you have to remove this .tar extension. How you can remove the .tar extension? You have to just hit the command tar. Previously you hit the command cvf, okay, and then you give it the option directory x.tar and the directory x. This was your previous option. Now you have to remove this directory x because directory x is not present. And in place of C, C is for create, X is for extract. Okay. We are extracting, we are removing the .tar. We are not creating the .tar. Okay, so that's why you have to give the X option here. That is the only difference. Previously used C, this time you have to use X. And press enter and see all the files, whatever we created, directory X, directory Y, directory YZ, hard link file 2, file 1, everything is visible. Directory X is visible. If I'll do the tree command, see all the files came as it is. Okay, if you want to see the data, so let's go inside the directory X. See file 1 is present. Let's create the content of the file 1. Same content. Let's go inside the directory Y. Here we have the hard link file 2. Let's read this. See the content. So like this way, we are able to get all our content back. Okay, using this star archive file. So this is the concept. So what we done, again, let me show you quickly. The first thing we hit the command tar-cvf, which help us to archive the file, and they created a file name with the directory x.tar. Then we use the gzip command, which help us to compress the size from 10,240. So you're seeing 1554 KB they compressed. Once the compressor is done, then you can share this file to anybody. Now your friend, what he will be doing? He will be unzip this file. We remove the directory X, so it will not merge everything. Because my friend will not have the directory X in his. That's why I'm deleting this. So we unzip this file and then we use the tar-hpf command. And we saw that in the directory one, everything is broken. Okay, so this is the command by which you can get your data back. And one more thing which we are going to see is the wget command for today. Okay, that will be the last command. So let's go back to our EC2 user directory. Again, came to the EC2 user directory. Let's clear all this. So these many files are present. Now, if you want to download something from internet, okay, like in our Windows laptop, we have the browser. I can search anything here. Okay, and I can directly download it. Okay, like directly I can click on this, I can save image, and this image will be downloaded. But how in the Linux you will be able to download? Okay, so take an example, I'm copying this link. So you have to just copy the link address of this image. Come here, just hit the command wget. Okay, wget, can you download this file and press enter? So if they are going to give the permission, they will be going to download it. So let's check. Let me go for some other link. Or let me go for some any software. Okay. So there is a software company which provides us the Ansible software. Okay, which I give you the example here also. So if you search about this, let me hit this URL. I'm hitting this URL in browser. You'll see this is a website. Okay, in this package, there are so many software available. Now I'm going to A, okay, because our software name starts with A. Then there is a software name which we are going to download, Ansible. Okay, this is the software that I want to download. Its size is 50. So in Windows, what we can do, I can directly click on this, and this file will be going to be downloaded. Okay, and see, we are getting this same as type. Now I will click on save, this file will be downloaded. And this is the always the things which you always do. But in case of the Linux, what you have to do, you have to just come here, you have to click on this link, copy link. Okay. Once you copy the link, you have to come here, and here you are seeing there is no RPM file currently. Just you have to hit the command wget. Can you download this file inside this machine? They are going, they are downloading the files, 2% is downloaded. Now see, quickly they will download all the files. Let's wait for that. File is downloaded. How you can verify? So see, this RPM file downloaded. Okay, so the wget is a command on which just you have to enter the URL. Okay, so URL you have to find it manually. Which URL you want to go? Like I want to download, take an example, some XYZ software. So I will just click on this. I will click on right click. I will copy link. And that link address we have to paste it using the wget command. We will just hit the wget and then get it. Then you have to paste the link, HTTP link, whatever the link is. Okay. So one of the link I given it in this one also. Okay. This is the exact one which I showed you, Ansible one. So you can try up to level 4. I will make sure this document will be provided to you by today. Okay. So you can practice. And tomorrow we'll be going to see the permission. Okay, how you can specify the permission. That will be good. Thanks all.